Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I should explain that I am the acting ranking member until the gentlelady from Florida deals with some issues. And those of you on the committee know that I've been here for 29 years. I've been chair and ranking member of a variety of different subcommittees, and I look forward to filling in this role. As to this hearing, we can start with a map of Judea and Samaria, and we will see that during most of our history, the Jewish people were an inland people. Yes, indeed, Hebron was part of the kingdom of Judea, but Tel Aviv wasn't, except when Israel or Judea reached its maximum extent, as it did at various times in its history. If we turn to any nationality and say you define your borders based on the maximum you ever controlled in history, then Mongolia would control half of the world, the Greeks would control Anatolia, the Germans would be restored to East Prussia, and the Chumash would own my condo in the San Fernando Valley. The fact of the matter is that modern Zionism focused more on the coastal plain than the ancient Israelites or the ancient kingdom of Judea, that the borders in 2025 should be drafted based on where people live now. Otherwise, you can call Israel a colonial settler state. Now that ignores the Jewish tie to the land, albeit slightly different borders of ancient times, but it also ignores the fact that every group of human beings is a group of colonial settlers. That before there were the Chumash in the San Fernando Valley, I'm sure there were other tribes. That before there were the Turks in Anatolia, there were the Greeks. That before there were the Poles in northern Poland, there were the Germans. And before there were the Arabs in Morocco and Egypt, these lands spoke Latin and Berber and Egyptian and Greek, and one of the greatest imperialist enterprises in the history of the world was the Arab Empire and the first and the second caliphates. So the question, it is interesting to study history. I spent a lot of time doing it, but history should not be guiding us. We shouldn't, as to resolving modern problems. The slogan "from the river to the sea" is an ugly slogan, whether it is in the mouths of those who would expel or kill every Jew living west of the Jordan River, or whether it is in the hands of those who would permanently disenfranchise and in a few cases, or a few extremist politicians, expel the Arabs living in that same area. Now, the Palestinians have never lost an opportunity to lose their state. If we can put up the second chart, in 1947, the Jews of Israel accepted this 1947 map. As you can see, the majority of the populated areas are in the hands of the Arabs who now call themselves Arab Palestinians. So then we see the 1966 borders. We also don't have a map of it, but we see the Palestinian state that was offered by President Clinton with the approval of Israel in his last weeks in office. Again and again, to the amazement of the world, Palestinian leaders representing less military power demand total control of all the land. It is hard to recognize how unreasonable their bargaining position is, because we're used to the side that has the less military power accepting the more reasonable bargaining position. So I look forward to learning some history here, Mr. Chairman, but I am not going to focus my beliefs on how we should design peace in the Middle East on a discussion of whether the Samaritans were Jews or whether they're a separate group. And I yield back.
Thank you to the ranking member. Other members of the committee are reminded that opening statements may be submitted for the record. We are pleased to have a distinguished panel of witnesses before us today on this important